welcome to the Fratcast Talk Show, the voice of Coffer Early College High School, and brought to you by the Seahawk Fraternity of Scholars. I'm Jathan Ten Cate, and today we're sitting down with Coach Daniel Mata, the head varsity boys basketball coach. Coach Mata, could you tell our audience a bit about yourself?
No, just
Okay.
kidding. I'm just kidding. So
Okay.
I'm actually from Laredo, Texas, and I've been playing sports pretty much all my life. I played football, track, basketball. I did a little bit of soccer, baseball, a little bit of everything. And then over time, I came to realize that I fell in love with the sport of basketball. So I decided to follow that route. And for my last 3 years in the high school, I actually just only did basketball. So I just figured, over time, I love basketball, so let me get into the coaching field. And luckily, I was able to land a job that allowed me to coach basketball, and I've been on there ever since.
So what inspired you to become a basketball coach?
I guess it's just the love of the sport, and I don't even know what actually got me to love. I really don't understand how everybody just falls in love with a certain sport, because I mean, you gotta get aspects in every sport. You get aspects of pretty much the same thing, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But I know for one, it was kind of like the team camaraderie. You get a lot of that. And I don't know, there's just something about having a basketball that you can control, bounce up and down, and you can shoot it into a hoop, and then the defensive aspect of it. But I guess it's just having a team with you that the whole team building, the family bond that you build with your teammates. And that's kind of like what made me fall in love with the sport. And then just the playing aspect, and now just coaching it, you don't get the same intensity that you do as a player,
Right.
but I'm still around it, and I still get that team vibe, and I still get the family vibe. So I feel like that's why I can never get enough of basketball.
So how did you end up coming to Rivera ISD?
Well, actually, I mean, for most of us, we moved because of our family. So,
Right.
I had a family. We were my family was very close to Kingsville, so I ended up moving to Kingsville. Look for different places to be able to continue my coaching journey as well as my teaching journey. And luckily, Rivera was one landing spot, and I had a great interview, and I liked the interview and how it went. So I decided to come here, and I've been here for 3 years, going on 3 years now.
Wow. So I want to shift gears to more of your feeling of teaching at Rivera compared to your last school at Laredo. Could you tell us the similarities and the key differences between the two?
I guess the differences would be, of course, to change the colors. I've never had to wear green before. I was wearing blue and red, so I had a lot of that. I wasn't too, what is that word? I wasn't too, I guess I didn't wear green a lot, so that I had to get used to that. Now I own a lot of
green.
about 10, 12 shirts that are green, and now my backpack's green. So now you kind of get used to the colors and things like that. Other key differences is probably the size of the school. I came from a school that is now a 4A. At the time, it was a 3A, very close. It was a very big 3A, so it was a 4A. Now it's a 2A school. So I still remember when I first got interviewed for the high school. They walked me through the high school, and we went through now I know it as the T hall, but I went through this hallway, and then we went through the other hallway. So I was waiting for the rest of the school, and they were like, "No, that's it."
Show up?
Yeah. So it was legit a 2-minute walk, and I knew the whole high school. The other high school wasn't as big, but and it was like a full circle. I guess you can call it a square. So I always thought that was a small high school. And coming to this one out now, I kind of realized, okay, that school is big compared to this one. So I guess that was another big difference.
Does bigger always mean better?
When it comes to schools, no. It always just comes down to, I don't want to say talent. It comes down to hard work. When it comes to athletes, if you have kids that are willing to work hard, that honestly is what matters. I always take hard work over talent. You always have kids that have talent. They don't want to work hard. They feel like it's too hard for them, that they're over it, or they're too good for that. and that never helps out any team. So when it comes down to athletics or teamwork, having an athlete that is willing to work hard and willing to push the team and willing to push themselves, no matter how small the request is, even if it's just you running or even if it's just you getting to a spot, even though you're feeling tired or whatever the case may be, if you mentally have it in you to be able to get to a spot where you're supposed to, or get to the position where you're supposed to, or push a team in that's having a little bit of trouble, that always helps. So to answer your question, no, it's not always bigger. Doesn't always mean better. It just means that you're gonna have more to choose from. But I mean, quality is always better. Quality over quantity, I always say.
So going forward into this year's basketball season, are there any players that our audience should expect to see big things from? Or?
Well, if I was a player, I would say myself. But but at the moment, I can only coach. So player wise, for my team, I mean, it's gonna be hard to narrow it down, because I would just say to keep your eye on each player, because they all have something that they add to the team. They all do something that the other guys on the team may not be able to do. So they all have their special qualities, but just I mean, right off the bat, number 0, Matthew Mascoro, I expect him to have a senior. It's a senior year, so I expect him to have a really big year. He's very close to reaching his 1,000-point milestone. So be aware of that. We are gonna have whenever he does get closer, we are gonna have I guess I think you could call it like a maybe like a little setup for that game whenever he does get closer. I know. Well, I'm just gonna mention my seniors, CJ Silva as well. I expect a big year from him. He's like I said, he's a senior, so he helped us out a lot. Last year was a big part of the team making it to the playoffs. Owen Bryant, letting everybody know he went 100% in three pointers last year. So as a senior, I expect a lot from him as well. He's probably my biggest defender, biggest charge taker for sure. And I have Aaron Ramirez as well. He's my fourth and final senior, so I expect a lot from him as well to have a big year helping out. So it's pretty much my seniors that I'm expecting a lot from, and they're all starters as well. So I expect a lot from those 4 seniors that are expecting to have a big year.
Thank you, Coach Mata, for sitting down with us today. And thank you for tuning into the Fratcast. I'm Jathan Ten Cate, and remember, it ain't a podcast if it ain't the Fratcast. We'll see you next time. So, Coach, rumor has it that you're a huge comic book fan. Is this true?
No, rumors are correct.
Oh.